morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the Younib Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera. And today we have a very, very interesting show for you guys. Anyway, how is your morning? I hope you've woken up well. Now, uko very excited to face your day today. So, as you start this day, I hope pia uko na inspiration. And also, we remember tunasemanga we are here to give ourselves affirmation. So remember, you can always send your morning affirmations. Umeamka ukifeel aje, umeamka ukajiambia nini. We want to know through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook. And also there's a number on your screen. You can SMS or WhatsApp 0719 144 144. As you know, it's the norm here. Let's go straight to the morning bite of the day. So today we'll be talking about investments. Najua already through the morning bite of the Meona, like the quote has been saying about investments. So guys, today we are speaking about investment, and today I have a very, 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 very important guest. Lakini because I don't want to underestimate nikimintroduce, nataka jintroduce cause nisimpe flowers zenye haziko ama nikose kumpea his flowers. So thank you so much for coming to the Younib Breakfast Show.
Thank you for having me.
Please feel at home.
So my name is Felix Ochuoga.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very hard talking about me.
Why?
Because sometimes when I see what LinkedIn and how Google refers to me, I'm like, I feel like I'm an imposter. Is that me or that's another person you guys know?
Mm.
But I've been in investment for quite some time. Professionally, 8 years. But since I started the game, could give myself 16 years now. I started investing way early, and I've learned the journey throughout the process of growing and trying to change the market.
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, we talk English here also, and
thank God.
we mix the languages.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I hope you have meskia, but I am feeling like bado hujajipea your flowers. Please introduce yourself. Well,
what is that to say? So basically, I've been in investment for quite a while. I hail from. I think the best thing is to start with the things that I've done.
Yeah.
So I'm an alumni of the University of Nairobi, an alumni of Strathmore University also. I did Bachelor of Real Estate, did accounting, and also did financial modeling and valuation analysis from Corporate Finance Institute from Canada. And I'm finishing up with my alternative investing with Apollo Academy, that is from the States, virtually. Apart from that, I run an investment firm that helps people to be able to grow in their wealth and is looking to grow unicorns out of Africa. Apart from that, I'm also running a tech company. It's COO. It's called Tusenti Limited, which is challenging status quo. I believe the aspect of investment is trying to change the status quo. Challenge, see what you can do better. And we're looking at M-Pesa is not the only person, in the market. We believe we have a better innovative product. Yesterday, like the green part, we had what is called the better option, but now we believe we have what is the best option for everyone, for you in the market.
Wow. Now that is what I call a good introduction. So yes, alikuwa ametufichia the information, by the way, because he says that when he reads himself through LinkedIn, anaona yeye ni imposter. But I feel like it's good to give yourself flowers where it's due.
True.
Yeah. So as we said earlier, we are talking about investments, and I am very, very interested to understand what made you go to investments, because I know behind the scenes you are talking about you started investing or learning about investment when you were in a young age. So what made you think about investments and not any other thing?
So for me, first of all, I think maybe this is an advice to the viewers. Please follow your passion. more than anything else. There is something about doing what your parents will tell you to do or your neighbors will tell you to do, but there is something about doing what you really love. And for me, I think that's my story with investment. I think I remember my first time relating to investment. I was 8 or 9, and I remember I will get coins. I think I've told these stories many times. I usually will get coins from my dad or sometimes offering. So what I did one time is I went to some place in High Rise. We used to live in South Sea. So we took myself to Matatu ya Ngumo to High Rise, and then from High Rise there's these piggy banks. So there are those banks and you can plastic and you can put a coin inside and so on. So that's how my investment story started. So I remember buying one. I think it was around 100 shillings by that time. I bought one, took it home, and my motto was that if I get money, half of it will go to my piggy bank, the other half of it will go now to what I was going to do. So ningepewa bus fare. I remember one time I would go to play football, and I would walk from South Sea to Imara because it was a football training, and then coming back because I was tired, I would take the matatu. But because I had saved half of the money. So that's how my investment journey started. And I know it sounds cliche because who thinks about this thing, but that was me. And then I used to read a lot on newspapers. I think I would read newspapers more than my teachers back in primary. If they remember me well, I would pick the newspaper and just get to the finance section. I don't know why, but it always made sense to me. So I think my mom will tell me about the auctions and she loved the auction bit. But then for me, it was about the company. So I remember when Safaricom did their first listing in the market and how people were so curious about the market. And then internationally, there was something about financial crisis back in the 2008. So these things sparked my interest in investment. And then that was in primary. So I took the same interest now back in high school. And I started my small loaning company in high school. Nilikuwa naitwa Shylock. So
Okay.
I loaned my classmates. And the whole idea about investing started by me buying a full scarf that had some flowers into it, because I noticed that boys would love to send letters to to the girls. So I noticed this is a good investment opportunity. So I had a variety. There was a blue one, there was a pink one. So I noticed that there's the pink and the purple one. So the pink ones, the girls will feel more attached to them because they also get feedback from the same girls from the girls' school. So the pink one will go for maybe 20 shilling, one leaf, and the other one will go maybe for 10 shillings. But when I look at my cost, buying the whole full scarf, like the whole booklet was about 60 shillings. So, and it had around 50 pages. So I would make 500 from 60 bob. And that's how now it grew, grew my portfolio from selling that now allowed students to sell on my behalf, and then focus on now giving out loans. My best story is that I loaned one of my teachers.
Wow.
So I had a teacher when they're paying their school fees, they were being paid their salaries. I will get my cut from the salaries from him. So that's one of that's my I think my journey towards investment. And then I went now when I turned 18. The first thing I actually did was open up a CDS account, which is to allow you to buy shares in the stock market. And I remember going to KCB. This KCB, I told them, I don't want to open any other account. The only account I want ni ya kununua shares. It's like, hey, you're serious? Like, yes. And I'm glad that KCB never failed me. And they just allowed me to buy shares. So I think that's my journey towards investment.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. But it's awesome having to see that there are young people who also can think out of the box. Most of the time we've been hearing people complaining, oh, our parents are not teaching us about finances. So did your parents really have any influence for you to get interested in investment?
Actually, I made my parents get interested in finance and investments because for me, it's something that I love doing. I remember I was a nerd. I read a lot. I think I read more than even the 1% that reads in the world. So I read a lot. And that culture to me was even, way back. And I remember just picking the newspaper, trying to read. So information is out there. Now you can imagine, take that 15, 20 years back. That was me. Imagine right now with the age of information. I think the idea of being wealthy is a personal choice. Naambiwa whatever you study in uni won't really help you. Hapa nje kila mtu streets iko na its own information to teach you.
Yeah.
So I mean, one thing I will say is I wish I had mentors growing up. That would have really impacted me differently. But at some point you have to be a first generation in some of the things that you're doing. That was for me.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's really interesting to see that there are people who love reading. Some of us are, most of the people I know, even back at home, even our viewers, we usually wait to be taught so that we can try something. And I think it's even inspiring to see that there are people who will always follow whatever they have in mind and put it to action till they grow up. So now I want us to enter now into learning. Tumeshajua who Felix is, and now I want us now to go straight into investments. Now we want to learn. So to start us off, what is investments?
Investments. I think every of our viewers or your viewers know about investment. They just when you hear the word investment, it's something so big, like it's just a juggernaut. Now let me make it simple, and I will use the case for Momboga because our government, the current government, went to the Momboga and they hustled out tutasaidia Momboga. Investment is this. You see, you give Momboga has 500 shillings. So she'll take these 500 shillings and she'll go to Markiti, she'll get the mbogas and start selling them to you. See, doing that trade and I'm getting a return out of it, that is the investment in the simplest way. I tell people, when you make investment look like this something so huge that we didn't know before, it's a wrong notion. You could start investment by saying, if I take sweets, if I decide to get sweets from, you see those hawkers, the way they hawk, they're all investors, literally. Because I'll get them in large quantity, I'm getting big quantity and at better pricing, and I will sell them to the same person. And one of the person that gave me the best view in investment is called Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett's story starts when he was 11 years old. He speaks about getting Coca-Cola and then from the bottle and then dividing it into small portions and then with biscuits and selling to his friends. And guess what? He's the largest shareholder today of Coca-Cola. Think about it. And just learning from Coca-Cola kakubwa and then now selling it into bits. And that's for me is investment, is looking at how do I use the little amount of money that I have to be able to grow it. Now, of course, we all can't go into business, right? So then we now ask, what are some of the avenues now going into investment? And there's so many cases. My best case is before you even go to the stock market or go into all the avenues that have been presented to you there. Anza na mamboga, ambia leo, notice you don't bring kienyeji. So give Mamboga 500 shillings, buy kienyeji, and share the profit. That's a simple case of starting investment. Because before you even go to the other side, you need to learn this common ground. How does it work? So that you're able to understand if it works in this small space, then how can it now work in a bigger space?
Wow. Anyway, there's this notion. Okay, many people say that it's good to save, and others say it's better to invest than saving. So, what's the difference between investing and saving?
Now, in the investment market or in the capital market, we will say this: savers are losers. You don't understand. But for you to start investment, you need to start to understand by saving. In the book by The Richest Man in Babylon, it talks about for you to start investing or putting money because you don't want to lose money. So first, learn to save. Saving is just it's what my piggy bank story, just taking 20 shillings, putting in that. You get money, putting that. I always say when you get an income, take 10% of your income and save it first. Do that even for a year and then just understand. And then after doing the whole saving in a year, now look for an investment vehicle, something that where you can put where your money can grow. It could be in a money market fund, which is money market funds are an example of an aggregation of between saving and investing, because you're not really having assets per se. You can easily access this money. So investment is where, when you put money, that money will grow. Like if you're saving, 10 like if you've saved 10 shillings, in this case, the case for investment is at the end of the year, I won't just have 10 shillings. I will have an amount that has grown past it. So I'll have like 10 shillings and then another 1 shilling. So when there's always something called a return, the extra 1 shilling from the 10 shilling, that is an investment. 2 shillings an investment. So if it's 100,000, if you invest 100,000, then you get 10,000 extra. When there's an extra bit of it, that is now what we call investment. But it's a saving. You don't really get anything out of it.
Wow, I hope you guys are really, really learning about this conversation. And it's something important, because at this day and age, we really need to invest and not to save only. And with the economy, what wanna complain, and the people who are able to invest from Kitambo, they are still reaping their benefits. Anyway, I want us to take this short break, and we'll be back with more information when it comes to investments. Welcome back, guys. This is still the Uni Breakfast Show with me, Peninah Wachera, and today we are having a conversation in matters investment. So before the break, we had the story of Felix, of how he became the investment person he is right now, and now we are coming back to continue learning, because also to Lipo introduction and investments. Remember, you can ask your questions or interact with us through our social media platform, Unib_TV on Instagram, Younib MEDIA TV on Facebook, and also there's a number on your screen, 0719 144 144. SMS or WhatsApp it, and we will continue this conversation also online, right? So coming back to the topic, before the break, ulituambia kuhusu the difference between investment and saving, and we've seen that also trading is something that people really, really are looking forward to. I must say it's very, very known by people. So what's the difference between also investments and trading?
I hope I'm not going to, well, let me just be very honest. I'm going to disappoint a whole lot of you, including you that is watching. So trading is not investing. Let's have that clear. And saving is the same thing, is not investing. Saving is not trading. So trading, like I said, investing is putting money where you are sure that you are able to see something that is growing. So you put money, for example, this channel, this TV station is an investment, because there's people who put money to it, and because you're doing viewership, and that means the advertisements that will happen once in a while, and they'll have shows and so on. So for investment, there is an income bit of it. Now for trading, this is what will happen. Of course, there are guys, after a long time of understanding the market, they understand how to do trades and they can make money out of it. But the difference now in this case is what you call a longevity factor. is that I can leave for investment, I can leave my money for 10 years as it continue growing in the same business, or I can sell the business and get my money back. But will that be the case for trading? Because when I do a trade and something just happens immediately, and market decides to go on the other side, that means that I might lose my money immediately. So sometimes I like to liken trading and gambling to be something similar. It's on the side where the spread is very little. I can make money or lose. It's the same thing as putting money for you're betting on between Man City and Chelsea, nani atashinda. So now based on the reaction kwa studio, watu waliekelea Man City na kukakuwa na draw. So it's the same case. So in this case, that you see that aspect that you can always spread your risk, but you're not certain of. The thing about investment is I'm certain of what I'm going to do. For example, I've been investing a long time in the stock market. I know how the stock market performs. There are a couple of companies that najua. For example, najua when Equity to list it will release the financial information they've just released. The same thing with KCB. I will know when Safaricom will do it, all the transactions, all these things. I know, like, you have that information. So I'm also able to know when will they list for things like dividends as incomes. And so for example, in the case for investment, we have what we call returns. And the returns can either be interest, dividends, and sometimes more dividends. Unasikia kuna interim na kuna finals, all this. That there are cases for returns for investments. But those are not the same case for what you call in the case for trading. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So in business, or rather in investments, we usually hear of the words risk and return. And definitely when you're investing somewhere, you're really doing a risk. Like you take the risk first so that it can bring return. So please explain for us the concept between risk and returns.
So to be alive is taking a risk. Tunaweza kuja hapa El Nino tupate, swept away, and then we die. It's a risk, right? To breathe is a risk. You don't know if the air that you're in is safe enough. So I think there's actually a quote I saw somewhere. No risk, no story. So for us to even have a story about life, you must take a risk. So what happens is that we always stomach a risk. Is that the risk is it could happen. It's a chance of something going good or something going bad, or something going bad and then going good, or something going good and then going bad, or something going good and then comes to a stall. All businesses, all life endeavors will incur risk, but then there is a return for it. For example, when our parents are at the case of, let me explain the concept of risk and returns in our normal households. So for example, when our parents, when you get to have a son or a daughter, you don't know if they're going to turn out to be good or that going to be turned out bad, right? You don't know when you're going to have a son or daughter today, you don't know if you're going to have money for it tomorrow, but the returns for it. For example, when you get back home, you see your daughter, your son smiling, and you're very happy. When you take them to school, you don't know whether they're going to fail or succeed. But the joy is that return is that, I saw my son and I'm happy. It's the same case for marriage. All these things, they're all involved. I like to explain all these terms in the common things that we face every day. So those things that you do, like for example, getting into a relationship. The risk is that someone might cheat on you.
Yeah.
True or false?
True.
So, but it's the same thing with investment. The only thing that I notice is that people are so curious about investment, so much they're not willing to get in, but you're willing to risk your life on so many things. And I'm like, there are double standards here. So there will always be risk. But now the returns, sometimes the returns are higher. And sometimes what you're looking at are the returns. What returns are they? I always say this: do not invest in anything you do not know. I know it might sound as something people have never told you about, but please, don't invest in something you don't know, even if I'm your best friend. If you don't know about this niche or this market, please don't. Because that's what happens. That's where people actually lose money. Because if you knew something, if you knew about the media business, you'll know, there'll be days when we don't even have advertisers. But there'll be days when we have advertisers. In the same case for, let's say, airtime business. Kuna time when you want to nunua airtime, kuna time when you want to nunua airtime. So are you willing to wait? So sometimes how a risk comes, it's also as a time factor. Is how long are you willing to wait? How long are you willing to wait for a risk now to start getting in as an investment? So I think, I don't know if you have not put it in
I think you've done it perfectly. And people have, I think, okay, the way you're explaining, I think people are really getting the right information when it comes to investments, because, at least you are relating to the world that people are living in every single day. So I want us now to go to classes of assets. When it comes to investments, what are the classes or the types of classes that are there in investments?
Classes of assets. That's a new term. I will say the many types of assets, or types of investments. Investments are assets, by the way.
Yeah.
And assets are investments. Investments are assets. It's for example, if I bought a shoe today, it's an investment, right?
Yeah.
Nikienda pale nje nimepiga luku nakaa vizuri. Otherwise, kuna mali wezitaenda na kala, si ndio? Those are in the same case that you look at it, you never think of shoes as investment. They're investments, because even the dressing that you take, the dressing that will take, or there'll be when I'm going for a certain event, and that dressing that I will do for other cases. The same thing we have for investments. So we have what we have a long term, we have short term, and so basically long term, short term, and medium. Medium is in between. So for short term, we have things like government bonds that in the class of investments. We have not government bonds, bills and government bills. So the bills take between 3 months or 91-day bill. There's a 182-day bill, and there's a 364-day bill. So all these are bills. And then something that is short term goes up to 3 years in terms of short term. So a bond can also go up to 3 years. That's a short term investment. And then now we have medium note. And also an example of short term investment, we have the likes of money market funds. Because what I mean with short term investment is something you can access within 3 months after you investing it back. And then now we have medium notes, or investments that take longer. So those are bonds, and that would be like, let's say, 5 to 7 years. Typically, short-term investment should be between post 3 years to between 5 and almost 6 years. Ikienda sana 7 years. Those are now what you call medium investments. And things like, it also depends on how you're looking at an investment. There are some insurance policies that becomes investment because they're able to cover some risk over time. And then now what we have is, now we have long-term assets. In long-term assets, we have, like, you've heard of infrastructure bonds. They go for even 15 years plus. We have you buying kanyumba, kashamba. Those are long-term investment, because you're looking at how fast are you looking to sell. So we're looking at investment, classes of investment. There's something we call liquid and illiquid. So liquid ni maji. So unaona, ukikumbuka chemistry, I think I'm going to use chemistry here. Wale kwa mnachukia chemistry, mimi naambianga watu zile tulisomea lazima zikusaidie mahali. So let me take you to chemistry. Kuna ice. Ice will take longer to melt, right? Yeah. Na itatoka from ice to water, si ndio? And then from water itaenda to gaseous state. So gas ni, unaona oxygen ikienda kwa mwili ina take few seconds itoke nje, and ikiwa imeenda nje, si ni kweli? The same thing. So even with investment, we have what I will say, the gaseous state, which are very short term, and then we have what is liquid, and then we have what we call solid. So na kitu kama nyumba, if you buy a house today, selling that house, just even by the time you own that house, it will take you almost a year by the time you have it and the contract and say it's ni yako. But are you selling it? Watu kianza convertize leo, si kitu utapata buyers leo. So those are what we call long-term or hard assets, is that they're not easy to sell. The other term is called illiquid. Instead of illiquid, you can also call them hard assets. They're not easy to sell. It will take you longer to melt an ice, for it to become water. The same thing. So they are those, and then we have, of course, for long term, we have real estate, or even hard assets. We have real estate. We can have some. I wouldn't call stock market in that place, because if you go to the stock market, I can buy shares of Safaricom leo and sell them on Friday. So there are also what I can also, but there are people who prefer to buy and hold them for long term. So for the case of assets, now tutakuwa na kitu inaitwa strategy. Is what is your investment strategy? Unataka kuinvest for leo, ikusaidie in the future, ama invest leo just for a while to keep your money holding. Yeah.
Awesome. At home, I hope you guys are really, really taking notes, because in ile show enye you should be with your pen and notebook and unaandika, so that, because investment is something that will help you for the future. Sia kitu ya sahi peke. It is something that when you have the knowledge about, you'll work with it to the future, and it will actually help you teach even your own generation to become investors and to make money, because who doesn't want to make money in any way? And all of us are searching for money in one way or another. Hata ile kazi unaenda, hata asubuhi ukikaa, wherever, everybody is thinking about how will I make money, and this is free lessons that you're taking it here from YBS in the morning, sindio? So remember, chukua bairo, chukua pen, chukua kitabu, and let's get to learning more about investment. So you've already explained to us more about the stock markets and everything. So what should people consider when choosing the right investments?
That's a very hard question. What should people consider?
Yeah.
I can't even answer that for you, because I will be telling you about my strategy, what I consider. First of all, let me clear this. There is no nobility in poverty. The poor in that you talk about in the Bible is poor in spirit, not poor in physical. Like tuambiane ukweli. It is the poor in spirit. And the poor in spirit, it means that your spirit is willing to take, just to give. Unajua, there is that poor in spirit. It is not full. So there is no nobility in poverty. Let me not lie to you. Ukikosa pesa, your kids won't go to school. So for strategy depends. Young people, you might stomach many risks because you're young. In the same way you can go on adrenaline adventures, you can decide to experience different cases for where to invest in. So let me just say this. With the investment, it goes with age. For example, a young person I wouldn't even advise a young person to really do money market fund. Like, you have a long time. You're in campus, hauko ile place yenye ukikosa utakufa. You always get money from your parents. So if I'm a young person, the first thing I want to get is in the stock market. Wacha ni accumulate. Wewe ndio mtu unafaa kuwa buy shares vibaya sana. Ukipata kapesa, nunua shares. Why I'm saying this is because kuna mali itafika yenye unaangalia the shares umebuy and they can buy you land. The shares umebuy that they've accumulated, they can buy so many things. Of course, even money market can also be good, but leave money market for older generation.
Wow. So tip enye umesikia, you've heard about the tip that you should be able to go na place enye unataka. Like, for example, if you're a student, look at the kind of investments that you're supposed to do. If you're searching for the long term, for example, you want to save up or to invest for the future of your own kids, maybe when they grow up for university, you are able to search for which kind of investment to take. And I hope you guys are still learning more on investment. And I want us to go, as tumeambiwa some many things that we need to digest. So let's take this short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. This is still the Uni Breakfast Show, and today we are speaking about investments. And I hope so far mmesoma so much more about investments. Mi naweza sema we are still in class, we're still learning so that we can be able to empower ourselves. And you know, once you empower yourself, you empower your own generation, because ukisoma kitu moja, if you are somebody to share, you really will find yourself talking to your friends about it, you'll find yourself talking to your family about it, and at the end of it all, utakuwa umesaidia kujengana. And now when you're told, tunaambiwanga, if you want to get rich, ukitaka kwa rich peke yako, it's not fun, but you pushing on with your friends, ni wote mkwe rich together, it makes the most sense. So anyway, today we are here to empower each other when it comes to investments, and also how we can be able to make money, or even make money work for us. That's the main idea for this show. So continue interacting with us through our social media platform, Younib_TV on Instagram, Younib Media TV on Facebook, and there's a number on your screen, 0719-144-144. You can SMS or WhatsApp it, and let's continue interacting. So before the break, we've spoken about so many things to measure about stock markets. We've gotten to learn also of how we can be able to make some investments. So I want you to shed light to us when it comes to matters, factors that we should consider when investing or before making an investment.
So I think in terms of factors, one, consider your age really, because and your risk appetite, age, risk appetite, and what do you really want your investment to do for you. So for me, one of the things I hate is lacking. I really hate to lack. So one of the biggest driver for me while I'm doing investment is I don't want at any point to look at myself and I'm lacking anything in life. That is a factor for me. So consider the security, consider your age and your current situation you're in. If you're married, you'll invest differently. Really, let's be very real with each other. If you're single, and single means you're still dating, that is the word single. Only time status na change nikiwa pale umewekwa married. So if you're in that place, even your investment is done differently, because you're looking at you have less thing to consider. I always say this: invest early while you're young, because what happens is that as your income grows, your responsibilities also grows, because kuna time unataka kuanza familia, utaanza aje kuinvest na unataka kununulia mtoto diapers. No, there are choices to consider. So angalia where you are in life. But even if you're married, I always say, one of the things I always say is this: of your income, sitakwambia ufanye 30, 20, 30, 50, the people do. No, I only tell you to do that. I tell you to do two things. Do a 70% ikue kwa your normal household things. Hii inafaa kuinkaba mpaka kama ni insurance unataka NHIF ikue hapo. Take 10% of what you get daily of your income. Hiyo ika kwa long term. Hiyo ni pesa mtu afai kuguza. Hiyo inafaa kuwa ina cover for, let's say in the future, what are you going to do for your let's say when you want to buy land, maybe in the future. But start by saving this 10% ikuwe hapo. Then there is something else iko hapo imebakisha, kuna 20%. So this 20%, let it cover for the normal things like inafaa kuwa ni short term investment. That's the reason I've given it 20 and 10. 10, you won't touch this money. Whatever happens, whatever goes. But the 20% ni ile place unaweza ekelea kwa money market fund. Unaweza ekelea kwa, let's say, kwa bond kama uko na more than 100k. Unaweza ekelea for any short term security. But this 10%, si pesa utaguza in 5 years, in 10 years. Ni pesa yenye unaangalia, when my kids get to school, how are they going to get school? They're supposed to help you do that. Or if you're looking to one day quit your job, what kind of business would I want to start? So start building into your dreams. I always say the 10% do your dreams, and 10% kidogo. Ukiwa unalipa 20k, 10% ni 2k. 20% ya 20k ni 4k. If 4k na 4k in account for things, you do not use it. And then limit all your expenses to 70%. Why again am I putting on this is that, one, status is not wealth. Get that. Most of them live within your means. It's very easy. Na kama huwezi afford Gucci, enda unue Clarks. Na kama huwezi, kwa kama mimi, Mtumba, trouser ni mtumba. And I'm very serious, by the way. As much as you look at me, it's not every day that I get to go and buy all these things. I always say, people, you not see me with any bling. You not see me with a watch. You not see me with a ring, because it's wealth. Pesa ni yangu. I don't have to show everyone that I have it. And I think that puts across everything about money. The moment you know how to reduce on your expenses, you don't need these things. Umevaa nini, always say have the bare minimum. Kona socks nini, you're eating healthy, good. In fact, learn to eat more healthy than spending unnecessary. I will not go to a club if I can't eat food. What for? You're in a luxury. So always say, even before you spend on luxury, let your luxury spending yako equal part of your 70%. But 30% to join investment, 10% ni long term, 20% ni short term. And then kama una any short term needs, chukua 20% iende kwa long term, ikusaidie grow. Because there's nothing so bad as you need money and you're asking your friends, you're asking people around you, and then unasikia kuna pesa. Ukwambia hivyo. Of course, you always fault them that they were not there for you. Let me tell you, when you're born, even mkiwa twins, kuna mwenye natangulianga na mgena kuja, right?
Yeah.
We agree. So put your finances, I always say, before you do anything else, put your house in order. And I think that I've done most of it in the case for investment.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Actually, guys, I hope mmechukua a lot of information when it comes to investments, because through this, you have gotten the perspective of doing research. You can be able now to start doing research. Remember also, there are so many places that you can go and get information from. Even there are people who you can pay and also get more information when it comes to matters investments. If you want to decide to start your best investments right now, it's good to consult somebody and you can be able to learn more, in which I'll leave him to give us advice for some time. But for now, when you are introducing yourself, you said something about Tusenti, yes, and I want you to talk about it. What was the inspiration of starting Tusenti?
So first of all, I didn't start Tusenti.
Okay.
I'm very humble in that case. But the guy who started Tusenti is called Joshua Odongo, current CEO and founder. Tusenti is an innovation. And let me say this. This is a very interesting story. Is that, so I think, I hope Joshua allows me. This is a story we've talked about. And one time Joshua was did pay insurance for his daughter. He's married. And he was looking at how the else will ni njia gani nitalipa insurance. And that's the day, your daughter gets sick. Ile month tu nasawingi kufanya things. That's how things happen. So the same day of when Tusenti got born. And Joshua went to his M-Pesa statements, the ledger, and akaanza ku track the transactional cost. And now, let me break the numbers to you. Did you know that 3 months of your transaction could pay your school fees? Your son's school fees. Or did you know that 2 months of your transaction ni gas, umerefill? Ama 1 month of your transaction unaweza pata monthly shopping voucher in Tusenti. So what is Tusenti? So Tusenti is a mobile wallet, which is on an app you can download on Play Store na App Store pia. What Tusenti does, it helps you to make transactions. You can send money the same way I will send money to you. Instead of doing it by M-Pesa, I'll do it by Tusenti. In these cases, I'm able to save on my transactional charges. So I'm not losing anything now. When I send money to her, there's that cost ninge incur. So what happens is my cost inakuwa kama installment payment. Yani, naanza kulipia kitu pole pole. So naweza nikimtumia pesa, ile transactional cost ningekuwa ni lose. Inaanza kuninunulia, let's say, gas, nalipia gas pole pole, and then transactional charge yangu accumulate to the cost of that gas. Mimi napata gas kwa deliver to my place. As simple as that. You can pay bills, the same unafanyanga na M-Pesa, same una send money, all that is available on Tusenti.
Wow, I love the way Umi explaining everything. So anyway, as we were talking about this conversation, Ulukume mentioned about reading books. So what are the kind of books that you've read that have helped you evolve when it matters investments?
Investments, I think Let me give this for common person, I think, or common viewer, maybe someone managing money or in the investment industry, it's very different. But for common person, psychology of money will do really good for you. I will still say my best book is The Richest Man in Babylon. That book also gave me good lights into it. There's a book called The Ravikant of something kitu. What I know, itafuta book imeandikwa Almanac of the Ravikant. I can't remember the title, but that is such a book that also opened my mind on investment a lot, quite a lot. But The Richest Man in Babylon, by the way, every time I come a book on the street, I will ignore it. But then I started reading that book. I was like, why are people not reading this book? Because it has so many insights to helping you, manage your debts and manage your money. Because the 2010 and 70, I got from that strategy I got from The Richest Man in Babylon, and it's a good story to read. Trust me. I think the writer of that book anafaa kunipatia pesa ya kuiongelea vizuri. But also psychology of money teaches you how to manage your money. But now for me, or someone even in investment industry, what really helped me in matters of money, and this is, numbers is easy to know. By the being real with you, I can study the investment market of any kind in the world, hata kama zikuwa huko. And I can even know, based on the historical data, naweza jua ni gani what company to invest in. And I'm always certain that I know what to work. Right now, ukiniuliza the kind of companies in Kenya that will pay dividends next year, I easily will know because I've studied that. I've studied all that. But I will say if there's a book that really got me to know so much in it, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. And what he taught me is that it's easy to know the numbers, but people that are behind those numbers are very different. So nature, when you understand how people make decisions, how people think, it will also be able to tell you, ule mamboga nataka kuwekelea pesa ni kuinvest in, behavior zake na kwanga aje na pesa, nijue whether I should give her money to invest, to buy things or not. Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, I hope may note hizo vitabu and you can go and start reading, and maybe then you can be able to get perspective or a mindset for investment. Anyway, I want you to look at the camera and give advice to anybody who wants to start investing, or somebody who is looking forward to maybe continue investing.
Let me get closer. So most of us go to school. It's true. So because you go to school, we learn all these things. Now, when I'm going to a doctor, I'm entrusting a doctor anitibu. Sini kweli. Nikienda kwa nurse and expect that I prescribe the right drugs that niambia what kind of thing. You see, the same way you go to a doctor, you need to look for someone in investment. I don't stress out this enough, but maybe nitaongelea investment advisors. Please get one to help you work with you. It's in Africa that investment advisors are looked at in a weird case. I'm not even an investment advisor, I'll be real with you. For me, I do investment, I invest on behalf of people. That's what I've done. That's what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to make Africa grow wealth. Now, when you're at the back, when you're at that station right now, one of the things you really need to consider is one, investor, an advisor. And the next thing I'll tell you is the day you learn to invest and know how to take care of your money is the same day you will know how to elect even the right people in the government. It's as simple as that. Because if you're a consumer, you invest, you elect someone who is a consumer. If you're an investor, you're going to elect someone who is an investor. And guess what? If you're an investor, you'll be really careful about your money. And that's one thing you really want. That you know where your money goes. I think I don't stress enough. Because in prices and markets will always change. But when you have an investment advisor to take you through, si pesa mingi, atakucharge maybe 2% of what you're investing. But that will be the difference between you losing 100,000 or you making 1 million.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time and for coming to teach us more about investment. And I'm sure that we are really now equipped, not really like 100%, but we know now if we're starting our journey in investments, what we can do and what we cannot do. So thank you so much for your time and for teaching us. And to our viewers, thank you so much for being with us since we started the show. And before I even thank you guys, I want to thank the people who have been making this show a success. I want to thank Robert, who has been behind the camera today. I also want to thank Ace, who has been our timekeeper, and for Mercy, who has also helped in the set design. Thank you so much. And to our editor, Lydia, thank you for making this show come to our viewers the way it is. And specifically, I want to say thank you to you, our viewers, because anyway, we can be here speaking about this, maybe teaching or talking to ourselves, but we're the ones who make us come every day to inspire you, to educate you, and also to give you information that will make you a better person. So thank you for staying with us from the time we started till now. And for now, I want to wish you guys a beautiful day ahead. And let's go speaking to our friends about investments. Let today be a day where we try to also get more skills in matters making money, and also try to speak to somebody. And pia ukipatana na msee unamrefer tu kwa hii video, namwambia by the way kuna place nimeona you can learn more about investments. So until next time guys, have a good day ahead. Goodbye.